Sad news for the music industry as Santoor maestro Pandit ShivKumar Sharma has passed away at his Mumbai residence today. The legendary music composer took his last breath at the age of 84 and he died due to cardiac arrest. The legend had been suffering from kidney-related issues for the last 6 months and was on dialysis. Once a little-known instrument from Jammu and Kashmir, Santoor was given a classical status by the maestro. Today, Pandit ShivKumar Sharma breathed his last. Let's go across to Usha Uthup, who is joining us on the phone line. Ma'am, a sad day for the music industry, indeed for the rest of the country as well. How do you remember Pandit ShivKumar Sharma and the legacy he leaves behind?
This is such terrible news, really horrible news, because he was such a stalwart and truly a pioneer of his art and music, really. I mean, when you say he's no more, it's a bit difficult to accept something like this because truly he was such a fine gentleman. And, I always used to say the king of 100 strings and, amazing. The amazing thing is that we met at so many shows. And he was always so impeccably dressed. And the music that he gave was even, nobody can replace a person like that. But most importantly, such a fine gentleman. We had such wonderful times together backstage, especially for so many shows. Really, it's just terrible to know that, we're losing one by one so many stalwarts, so many pioneers in their own field, really. My heart goes out to his whole family. And I do hope that they have the strength to bear this terrible loss. I know the industry is really, really sad and grieved today.
Ma'am, talk to us about Pandit ShivKumar Sharma. He was obviously an icon, a music icon, but as a human being, as a person, your interactions with him?
I just said he was such a fine gentleman and he had such a fine sense of humor. And, really so impeccably dressed. I always felt he was such a, in his own right, he carried his style and his persona so marvelously. I just feel it's terrible that we should have lost someone like him, such a pioneer in his own craft and art, really. I mean, it's really unbelievable to keep losing people like this, especially, Panditji was somebody with whom you could really relate because we've done lots and lots of shows together. And backstage was always wonderful because I would say, make a lot of conversation about the king of 100 strings, And the way he would, something so graceful about him, really. So graceful and such a marvelous human being, truly, truly.
Sad day indeed, Usha Uthup. Thanks very much for joining us. Also joining us on the phone line is Anup Jalota. Mr. Jalota, thanks very much for speaking to us. Pandit ShivKumar Sharma was really an icon of Indian music. How do you remember him? He took the Indian music to the world.
Very big loss to our music world. His contribution will be never replaced because he is the man who brought Santoor from folk music to classical music. Santoor was played in folk dances in Kashmir and Jammu. People didn't know about this instrument. It was just played in background music and everywhere. But he created it in such a way and played in such a way that it became a part of classical conferences where Pandit Ravi Shankar is playing, where Hari Prasad ji or Bhimsen Joshi ji are performing. Same place, he's playing Santoor. So Santoor, he brought what Bismillah Khan Sahab did. Shehnai, people used to play only in village, in weddings and functions. He brought it to classical and became Bharat Ratna. So this kind of contribution will be never forgotten. He will be always in our heart and very, very respected always. I'm like his son. He treated me always like his son. He was a very good friend of my father because all my father, he they all worked on stage together, performing together. So here, it's like a family loss. It's not just a loss of the film industry, it's family loss. And I just pray God उनको अपने चरणों में स्थान दें जो इस लोक में इज्जत दी है, सम्मान दिया है, उस लोक में भी उनको वो इज्जत और सम्मान दें.
Mr. Jalota, talk to us about how Pandit ShivKumar Sharma took the Indian music to the world, really made the world his stage.
He took Indian music, made it a global scene, and not only just music, but his instrument. His instrument was not known before, so the folk instrument. So he took this instrument, worked on it, made some changes in the instrument, and then was globally recognized as a classical instrument like sitar. This is his work. And internationally, Santoor is known and people are learning all over the world this instrument.
Mr. Jalota, indeed a sad day for the music industry and a sad day for India with the passing of Pandit ShivKumar Sharma. Thanks very much, Mr. Anup Jalota, for joining us. In fact, Prime Minister Modi has also tweeted saying that our cultural world is poorer with the demise of Pandit ShivKumar Sharma ji. He popularized the Santoor at a global level. His music will continue to enthrall the coming generations. I fondly remember my interactions with him. Condolences to his family and admirers. Om Shanti. That's what the Prime Minister has tweeted. Pandit ShivKumar Sharma breathed his last today at the age of 84 and died due to cardiac arrest. The legend had been suffering from kidney-related issues for about last 6 months and was on dialysis. Now, once a little-known instrument from Jammu and Kashmir, Santoor was given a classical status by the maestro. This is what